the yogis, the sages, the ones who came here to help us, the ones who can go deep into the center of creation, and simply dwells as this, would hear an emanation coming, a sound, a vibration coming from the very center of the center of the center. And they came back and they told us what it is. It's Om. A-U-M-O-M. In the West, it morphed into Amen. But the center of the center of the center. The Bible, it says, first there was the Word, right? And the Word made manifest. But they jumped the gun. First was the vibration. The complete unmanifest. For whatever its reason, started a vibration. And it just kept going. The dance of creation shows up as vibrations. And it becomes everything. It becomes the physical universe. It becomes the physical body. But that's all downstream. That's all at the end of the chain. Long before that, it's vibrating at extremely high frequencies that the human apparatus cannot perceive through the five senses. And yet, the human apparatus, from the body to the mind structures, to the emotional structures, and beyond, is this vibration in a form or another, a particular vibration. All connected. And when everything is left to its own, to simply be what it is, it miraculously resonates, vibrates at the exact perfect pattern to beautifully fit into the whole. The entire thing is one dance of sound, both heard and unheard, of harmonics that fit together in incredibly brilliant and intricate ways. And this is the natural state. Now, if for whatever reason we've been given this interesting mechanism called a prefrontal cortex, and some amount of free will, very narrow band, but in the way that matters. And because of this, this part of us that's kind of here to work the spacesuit, sometimes seems like it has a mind of its own. And because of that, it's got the capacity to run, to put out sound or frequencies, to put out vibrations that is out of alignment with the totality. Why? That's above my pay grade. I have no idea. Like, I mean, I've got speculation. It's kind of like if this is a gym, you know, where we could learn to strengthen our being, our soul, then the weight machine is this thing that we'll call the ego, for lack of a better term. And it has the ability to generate vibration. We all, because everything is, it can't be anything else. But through this narrow band of will, it can, you see how this wants to be said, it can go off on its own. Kind of the nature of it. It's like, what harmony? I don't care. There's no harmony. I'm me. I gotta be me. And so it starts to generate energy based off of that. And as it does, and we kind of get caught in it, our participation, our interaction with this part of the consciousness generates more and more vibration that is out of alignment with the natural state of all there is. And we know it because it feels bad. That's its signature. And so, if it's just left to its own, it keeps running out of alignment with it all. And you add that into a collective way, and you look outside and you see all the things that don't feel good, and it's simply that level of consciousness run amok. So some of us are called to do spiritual practice by whatever that shows up to be. But what's the purpose of it all? One advantage of living to 67 and doing 40-something years of this inner work is I could see what the purpose of spiritual work is. It's ultimately to reclaim our sovereignty so that we could give it back to the totality, so that we could be brought into alignment by the master vibration that knows the whole thing. And as that happens, as we surrender to that, as we let go of the self-will, we get tuned up. You ever hear somebody's wound too tight? That didn't just come out of nowhere. That person's ego wound itself up. And then there's the opposite. There's some people are too loose. Some people are not grounded. They go floating off into the ethers. All of these are forms of being out of tune. And so we practice a meditation of sort. Why? Because eventually we find that place in us that is in tune. And where attention goes, energy flows. So as I allow the attention to come back to that place inside, let go of anything else. The source of Om that is emanating from the center of the center is that same place in us. There's only one. And as we allow our attention to rest in this, it tunes us up. So mantra the practice of mantra, besides being a clever scapegoat for sitcoms, is an extraordinarily simple and powerful practice to internalize deeply and fully. I've been working with this for 47 years. We are vibration. Where you put your focus, you attune to. We're not taught this. The culture doesn't teach this. The culture teaches you to be you and to run on your agenda no matter what. But that agenda, most of the time, is out of alignment with what your deepest truth is for yourself. And then becomes this disconnect. So one of the powerful ways is to work with a vibration that is in alignment with the master vibration. Because the power of that and the coherence of that, when we put ourselves into that field, which is an internal state, is so powerful. It smooths out, it reconditions, it re-educates that part of the consciousness that has become disconnected from the whole. Now, everybody's running a mantra, actually. Most of the time it's, this sucks, this doesn't work, this hurts, how do I get out of this? That's the mantra. And then that's what becomes the center resonant point of that being's consciousness. Wherever attention goes, energy flows. And so the more that becomes the mantra, the stronger the manifestation of that kind of a mantra, and we see what we see out here. So 60-something thousand thoughts a day, more or less. That's what they say. An inordinate amount of them is all about me. And if I don't exercise some level of mental discipline, that's an enormous amount of unfocused energy that's dissipating my overall field. And I'll let this fade out a little. There you go. That light up there, or one of these, running about equivalent of 40 watts or something like that of energy. Right? And that's called incoherent light. It's light, but it's moving in all different directions. So it takes a certain amount of power to put enough out so it could do its job and light up the wall. Incoherent, it's going off in different directions, all at the same time.
And different frequencies.
And different frequencies, thank you. Now, if we take that energy and we can somehow move it so that all the frequencies are in alignment, all of the energy is in alignment, moving as one unit, that same amount of energy could blow a hole in every wall between here and the end of the block. That's the difference between an undisciplined and a disciplined mind. When I first got into all of this, the question that the little trickle of the question, everybody has their on-ramp, you know, how it showed up for you in your life. Mine was, I was in engineering school and it was kicking my butt. And I just said, there's got to be some way I can amp up my brain power. And that led me into self-hypnotism, and then here we are. Once I introduced using a mantra, it started taking all of that energy and concentrating it. So the practice that I do, and it doesn't matter really which mantra, I mean, as long as it's a mantra that's of a higher vibration, I keep a little stack of them here in in the side of my little mind over here. And when it starts to act up, I say, here, take this pacifier and play with this one. Or take this one and play with this one. And it gets it. And it just sits with it, and it's going ram, 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 ram. And then when I need to use the mind for something, I said, hey, let's go make some music. Let's go write this. Let's go do, and then it happily comes along. There is this network in the brain called the default mode network. And the whole use of psychedelics fundamentally is to put that part of the brain to sleep, because that's the mischief maker of the brain. It also happens to be running like a lot of the circuitry, so it's got to roll. But you can see, you can measure it. When you're not focused on something, this thing starts to act up. And depending on the nature of what kind of thoughts basically comprise that, that's going to determine how anxious you feel, how depressed you may feel, how scattered you may feel, or how centered you may feel. And so meditation helps to suppress that and cool it out. This one over here, Neem Karoli Baba, Ram Dass's guru. He would sit all day long, and people would come and touch his feet and hang out with him, and this, and all he's doing is going Ram, 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 which is the name of God, one of the names of God, thousands of names of God, of Source. Gandhi, when he was going off and doing all his stuff, and he wasn't using his mind specifically for whatever he did, was going Ram, 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 Ram. And when he was shot and he fell over, you know what came out of his mouth? Ram. In the movie, he said, oh God, but that's Hollywood. But it was that in the form of Ram. Not to scare you, but they do say that on exiting this life, on this body, your last thought determines your next incarnation. Holy shit. Okay.
This could be a problem.
But the way I read that, frankly, is it's in fact the totality of your life flashing before your consciousness in that moment, the essence of this incarnation. Which makes sense, because that's what you currently are in that moment, and that's the energy form that carries into the next whatever, the next dimension, the next incarnation. So it makes sense. So Neem Karoli Baba would keep a journal, and he'd be writing in it all day long. Nobody knew what he wrote. But when it was time for him to leave the body, he gave it to his, he had these two women who were like his main caretakers. And he goes like, basically, I'm leaving tomorrow. This is now yours. And she opened it up, and you know what was in it? Ram, 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 Ram. So especially in the early days of working with something like this, you give this to your mind. What do you think it's going to do with that?
Start doubting it?
It's going to say, what the hell is this? This is boring. Because it's addicted to high-speed distraction and motion. This is what it thinks is its domain, its comfort zone. So it takes a little while to work with it, but that's the same thing with meditation, right? I taught somebody meditation. They came and said, like, I don't like this stuff. It makes my mind really busy. I said, no, You're finally just starting to notice what you walk around in all the time, because the distraction distracts you from the distractions. It's layers and layers and layers of avoidance of oneself. Okay. So a mantra doesn't have to be in Sanskrit. I mean, that's my affinity for Sanskrit. Sanskrit's really an interesting language. It's called a mantric language, in fact, meaning that the word is the vibration of the thing it's pointing at. That's really interesting. They said Hebrew's like that too, but I haven't researched whether that's actually true or not. But Sanskrit is this. And so Om, being a Sanskrit word, is the vibration of that fundamental frequency of all there is. So it's very close. It's not abstract. If we start talking about any spiritual concept, there's a layer and a layer of concept and abstract and concept and abstracts. And then we're kind of like pointing at the moon, but it's not really that close to the moon. But a mantra is as close as you can get on the physical level or the mental level of that vibration that it's tuned to. That makes it very powerful, because energy flows where attention goes. And so when I place my attention on one of these, that's what's tuning the consciousness up. We can't do that. We can't do it for ourselves. We can't do it to ourselves, right? The ego gets all uncomfortable with its own creation, doesn't realize it made this all up. And then it scrambles even faster to try to fix it. Have you noticed that there's no way out? There's no, that's the jail cell reiterating its own jail cell. So that's never going to work. You can't think your way out when thinking's the thing that created the mess in the first place. So we have to go to a higher level. Working with a mantra is that. And there's a lot of them. You know, prayer of sorts and affirmations. Short ones, I don't know, long ones can get involved. But I work with them in English sometimes. There are certain ones I keep. So I notice that there's a part of my mind that is prone to, if I let it do its thing, right? Start worrying about some health thing, you know? I have a little scratch here and it goes, holy shit, this could be cancer. You know, stupid shit like that, but it goes there. So I have a very particular mantra that I keep here. And when I see the mind going in that direction, I pull it out and I say, here, I am radiant health. Play with that one for a while. And it goes, oh yeah. And it comes back. It becomes an obedient tool. It becomes an obedient servant. That's what it is. Ram Dass says that it's a wonderful servant and a tyrannical master. And so most people's minds are undisciplined, meaning it thinks it's the show and it's running amok and it's creating hell for people. And then it projects it out there and says, I'm not doing this. She's doing it. He's doing it. The guy in the White House is doing it. No. Your own mind is doing it. Nobody else's. And we live in a culture that does not teach people the value and the importance of mind management, which is to say, stay in awareness, watch the mind do its thing. If you don't do that, you go into it. You leave yourself and you go into that story. And then you get lost in the story. And then you forget that you're in the story. And then you're thinking without realizing you're thinking. And that's the definition of being asleep. And it's not like a one-shot thing. It's not like you wake up and then that's it. If you can go back to sleep, you can wake up one moment and the next moment go right back to sleep. But then the mind goes, whoa, there's a lot of effort there to stay awake. No, no, just be aware. It couldn't be simpler. It actually couldn't be easier. But it doesn't appear that way until you start to do some inner mind management, apply some discipline. And so, awareness is number one, because if I'm not aware, I'm in the rabbit hole, and that's that, until further notice. And because there is a greater field, a greater force that is awakening our consciousness, that's why we're all sitting here right now, that we can trust that power to eventually go, hey, come back. And then all of a sudden, oh, right, I was in that thing. That is the moment of reawakening. At that moment, I now have a choice. Before that moment, I had no choice whatsoever. That's the state of most of humanity. But something happens. That's grace. I didn't cause that in my own life. You didn't cause that in your own life. So there's something really big that we're a part of that's working for us. All we have to do is trust it. But the mind doesn't trust it. So we wake up. In that moment, I go, ah. In this moment, I have a choice of one of two choices. Really. I could either turn towards the light, and I'll come back and kind of define that, or I could turn away from the light. I could either be willing to be with what is and see, or I could try to hide from it all. It's not turning towards the light or turning towards the darkness, because darkness is not a thing. Right? When I leave here tonight, I'm going to turn off the light switch, but I'm not going to turn on the dark switch. There is no such thing. It's just the absence of light. So the moment we're in awareness, we get to choose where to place our attention. That's the choice. And frankly, from my investigation so far, it's the only place I believe I have choice. That's it. But you know what? It turns out that is so extraordinarily powerful. It's the whole ball game. It's the whole ball game. Because energy flows where attention goes. And so if I put my attention onto the mantra, use that as a tool, right? That is putting my attention onto the light, that highest vibration that we actually are. And then what that does is that takes the entire energy field that makes up this localized thing called Eric, including the physical body, the mind, the emotions, the other higher, more subtle layers, and it through sympathetic resonance, through entrainment, where the stronger wave pulls the weaker wave to become like it, it cleans up our consciousness. Because all the ego-based thoughts are not like, they're out of sync with the totality. And so if I go start walking around like, I got to fix myself, I'm so broken, I'm so messed up. I mean, those are powerful I am statements to be using against yourself. And then it's called, I got to do something, I got to do something. That's because the only thing that layer of consciousness knows is how to do something. The concept, the idea of just being doesn't compute. It's not in its instruction set. It can't, it's just not there. And if it thinks it's running the show, and I don't question that, then it's running the show. Trying to figure out how to get out of the mess that it thinks it's in. And all that does is create more noise, more noise, more noise, more noise, more noise. And it's not isolated into the mind, because the Course in Miracles says a really interesting thing, and I got to talk faster because we're going to run a long experience tonight. Course in Miracles said an interesting thing. It says the body is incapable of creating anything. As in, no disease can come out of left field and just hit you out of nowhere. It goes from the most subtle to this is the grossest of the manifestation planes. And the energy flows through. And if we're all if it's in alignment, then there's a harmonic energy that's instructing the cells how to operate. But what's in between this point of the body and that point of the consciousness is the mind. That creates all sorts of distortions and blocks and perturbations in that otherwise harmonic energy stream. And then that's what shows up cellularly. So the Course says, because of that, all healing is of the mind. Because that's the only place where the distortions are carried. And then the body takes care of itself. You know, that really is the basis for Christian Science. Just remove all the dogma. And then we're talking about, you know, something actionable and substantial here. Now, I know from my own experience, like since I started understanding and working with that unified model and working with the vibrational in that way, my body feels stronger and more energized and healthier than ever. The idea that getting old means you're guaranteed falling apart and sickening, dying, all that stuff. No, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I'm not sitting here telling you I'm Jack LaLanne and I figured it all out. But I do know my own experience, and there's no doubt about it, that when we're in alignment, the vibration, the coherency between our layers becomes increased, the laser. And now what happens is the mind is in the service of this. And the mind now couldn't be happier. That's the bottom line. It's going to kick and scream all the way until it finally gives up. That's what they say. The guru said, the guru takes you to enlightenment, kicking and screaming all the way. The only thing that's kicking and screaming is the mind. That's where the fear is. That's where the resistance is. That's where the noise is. Why was this here? I don't know. All I know is this is the way we're made up, and it's our responsibility to work with what it is this is. So, I'm going to put on an incredibly good piece of music with a mantra running. It's a Buddhist medicine mantra. When I came across this, and we were in Hawaii, and we ran it for like 2 hours a day. It was just on, and we're singing along with it, and I'm meditating to it, and so it moves between instrumental and then this Buddhist medicine mantra, and then it goes back into instrumental and back into the mantra. It goes in and out of the mantra. I'm going to put the words up there. You can say it out loud. After several rounds of it, you get it, but you don't have to. If nothing else, track it. Keep focused on it. When you notice you've drifted into thought, simply drop it and come back to it. That's during the parts when the vocals are going, when the mantra is going. During the instrumental part, what I want to suggest and invite you to do is pick a one-syllable mantra. Om, Ram. You could even go I am if you want. That's 2 syllables, but. And while it's in the instrumental phase, just quietly to yourself, just put your mind on it and sit in that over and over again. Om, Om, Om. And then when it goes back into the medicine mantra, track that again. And then we'll go back to instrumental, go back to the mantra for yourself. Yeah.
So if you've had a mantra that you've used pretty regularly for
use
over
that.
50 years.
Use that.
Go ahead and use it. Okay.
Yeah.
I just wonder if you probably should try a new
No.
one.
This is not mantra shopping. If you got one that's working for you, go for it. What I'll notice is this. I've been working with a particular one that came to me like in my 20s. And what I find is for some reason, it is so core. It came to me seemingly outside, but it came because of the emanation of it already inside. And they connect, and that's the one I've been working with a lot. I've worked with a lot of other ones, but when I let it all go, this is the one that naturally arises in me. Now, if you find that with you, You know, if you're playing around today with this, or experimenting, practicing, and you're going to Om, but you keep coming back to Ram or something, trust it. Just settle into that. Okay?
Do we need to understand like this new one with the words? Is it in Sanskrit?
It's in Tibetan. And I'm going to share the screen and I'll show it to you. You don't have to understand a thing about it. That's the important thing here. Thank you for asking that question. Because the part that wants to understand is the mind. The mind is a thimble in the ocean of the infinity of what our consciousness actually is. And so to try to get, when the mind says, oh, I got to know what this is, just let it go. Just say relax. Listen to the music, whatever it is, just like relax, let it go. Just sit in this, feel it in your body, feel it in your being. Whether you say it to yourself or you say it out loud doesn't really matter, but be in it and come back to it and come back to it and come back to it. This is what clears the noise. This is what tunes the consciousness. This is what accelerates your evolution. It's not the only tool, but it's a really powerful one. Okay? Let me pull up this. Okay. I have to move this. Good. Okay. So you'll hear a few rounds of this. Again, this is Tibetan. It's Tayata, Om, Bekandze, Bekandze, Maha, Bekandze, Rasa, Samugate, Soha. Say that 10 times fast.
Whoa.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I really contemplated, like, do I really want to put them through this? But you'll see. It's really great. I was sitting in meditation the other day, and it just came crystal clear to me that this is for us to do tonight. So it starts off with an instrumental. So just pick for yourself some mantra you want to use during the instrumental phases of this.
So I'm not clear when we do that when it's doing.
When you hear it, just follow it. You can say it to yourself. You know, a lot of people hear from the choir. Just sing it, because the melody is great, and that, to me, that drives it deep in. I'll wait for Bill to get back because I want to say something about this particular mantra. And that is a picture of the medicine Buddha. And the nature of the medicine Buddha, it's a healing of the mind. That's what it is. It's a healing of the mind. And that actually tracks what Course in Miracles said, which is all healing is of the mind. So because this is running on such a good piece of music, it's so easy. It just rolls around in my mind. I don't know how many times a day.
Is it Peter Gabriel?
No, this one's not Peter Gabriel.
Good question.
It's a reasonable question, knowing who I am. Yeah. So doing this as a group, because of the amplification effect, is powerful. And it doesn't leave you when you leave the group. So as you're in it, don't do this right off the start, but somewhere in the middle or whatever, as you could really feel the power of the field, just bring into it anyone or anything, any situation, the entire incarnation, the totality of the world, whatever it is that comes that wants to be in this, this is a good part to add to it. Just stay with the mantra.
Can I record it?
Catherine, Kim, you could hear it? Good.
So
So what was that like?
Really?
Stoned enough?
Right?
You want words? You want words?
Yeah, yeah.
Is there a translation for that?
Yeah, I'll send it out with the replay. There's a translation, there's a whole thing about it. The only thing that we need to know is what we're experiencing right now.
Singing mantras is bliss.
It is bliss.
Singing mantras is just blissful.
It really, it cuts through everything.
I felt a very ancient, very timeless connection. It's just very expansive. Felt so nice.
So that's a Buddhist.
It's a Buddhist medicine mantra. Medicine Buddha is a specific frequency of the Buddha consciousness that heals the mind.
Oh, okay.
You know, the singing part, I felt in my heart, but then the music part, I felt like it was a freebie for a psychedelic. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do have this on in the background with certain psychedelics for clients. Anyone else? Just
Profound. It's just deeply profound.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
yeah. Yeah, all it is, we attune to the vibration. We just, and the mind starts to conform.
Cohere.
You know, it does, it coheres. What we just experienced is exactly what I was saying, that energy moves where your attention goes. And we know what it feels like to have a scattered mind. And it may still appear to be focused, but it's actually scattered. And you could feel it. You could feel it right into the body.
This felt to me kind of like this cosmic Ferris wheel of energy rising up and coming down and start over again in the low notes and feel that rising up.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Vocalizing it.
Yeah. That's the power.
For me, it was like breathing, like a pulse, a heartbeat that kept, like I said, continuous. And when I just let go and surrendered to that, it was like, oh, I don't have to try so hard. It's always just available. It was a really wonderful feeling, surrender.
Yeah. And so the thing is, when you start to work with it in your little, collection, and you keep working with it while you're going through normal daily experiences, you start to develop this very quickly, this capacity for the mind to be in this vibration while you're doing what you need to do. And the alignment takes the master guiding force, which is simply the high coherency that knows the totality, that knows where you're to be at any one moment. And when you're on this vibration, it moves you there. It changes the nature of what thoughts arise inside the consciousness. This is what it's all about. This is thy will, because my will is a bunch of noise.
Trouble.
And so this is the whole ball game, is surrendering to this, inviting this, trusting this, choosing this, because your choice determines where your attention is. And where your attention is, that's where the energy goes. It couldn't be simpler.
So if you want to manifest something, and I mean, for me, the Om meditation, the Om chant, like Om, over and over, that pulls me in.
The SRF one, yeah.
Yeah, that resonates with
Yeah.
me. So if I want to manifest peacefulness or compassion, somebody's pissing me off and I want to right away go into my own, but that helps just by doing that over and over and over, pulls me into that compassion or
Right. Whatever you need in the moment.
right. It's powerful.
That's right. Because this level of vibration, and I'm going to come back to the manifestation thing in a second. This is coming from the one, which means it contains it all. And it's not dumb energy. It's incredibly intelligent. And so when my attention is on that, if compassion needs to come in, it shows up. If breathing needs to come in, it shows up. If writing needs to be done, it shows up. If some form of love, because love is the ultimate of the vibrations, and compassion and joy and creativity and any of these positive vibrations, positive feelings, all come from that. So then when you're going about it and there's a manifestation question in your mind and you just drop into this, what you need comes to you. Because there's an electromagnetic flow.
So you think it while you're doing it.
That's an interesting word.
You visualize it.
I wanted, let's, we're gonna have a whole evening on this kind of thing, but for now, what I want to say is you don't think it because the mind will get in the way of it, because the mind is the ego mind mind, and the ego mind has an agenda. It thinks, first of all, it doesn't even know what it wants. And then it tries to get it. And then it gets it and it says, this is not what I want. And that's the ball game. I mean, that's the whole loop. So if you try to think it, thinking comes from a layer that says, I have to make it happen. And I have to make it happen really says, I'm separate from the totality.
Lack mentality too, right? Like I don't have it already.
And I'm missing it. And that's not the truth. The truth of the master vibration, which is what we are, is the totality. What could it possibly be missing? And so when we're in alignment with that, did you notice as you dropped in deeper and deeper and deeper, there was no question of I need, I want, I have to? Now there is, as the brain, as the ego mind comes back online. So the ego mind says, I need to manifest this. And it has its ideas, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, the question is, where is it coming from? How in alignment with the deeper source it is. And so, and disconnected ego mind, which is one that's kind of self-absorbed, narcissistic, most of them, will have its own agenda. And because it's disconnected from the whole, it's constantly feeling like something's missing. And that's what you start to pick up on. And then you, without the appropriate mind discipline, your mind is going to go into the loop around everything that's missing. And how do I get this? And I'm never going to get my needs met. And I'm scared. And I'm da. And that's all there is in there. There's no solution in there. Which is why, and that's the story. Coming back full circle to the beginning of that is the story. Which is why I constantly share and say the story is not the story. There's no answers in the story. The story is not what's really going on. You have to go out of the story for that. And so going out of one of the powerful ways out of the story is working with your mantra. So that when, again, going back to my example earlier of a health concern, if I let it go, it's going to keep getting, it's going to drill rabbit holes of deeper concern. And that's not innocuous. That's not nothing. That's generating energy that manifests as that. Yeah. Now, in terms of manifesting, so it's either I want what I want, or I want what thy will. I want thy will. Those are your two choices. Mm. Now, if I know from my experience, and I mean, I don't know what the number is, hundreds of thousands of times already, that all I do is stay with this. And I've got no concerns, and I've got no needs, and I've got no wants. There's nothing in there that's agitated, that something is, when I forget this, and I go into the story, all that's there is I want, need, how I'm going to get it. It's scheming, it's planning. And that's why A Course in Miracles says a healed mind does not plan. Because what it says is a healed mind is not caught in a self-referential loop, an ego loop. A healed mind is attuned to and transparent to of the one, and knows and can relax into this, and there's no planning necessary. The universe is a real-time delivery system. You've seen it when you look around in your own life. It's the right things, when the right things come to you, it's a real-time delivery system. You don't get a letter in the mail that says Tuesday at 4 you're going to have this incredible thing happen to you. But the ego mind's trying to do that. So back to this thing. A healed mind does not plan. A healed mind is present. It doesn't need to travel into stories. A healed mind is not in time. The story is in time. The story is what you call the past. It's what you call the future. Where is that actually? Would somebody please point to me? It doesn't exist. It's only in your mind. That's in time. That's psychological time. That's what we're talking about. Psychological time. When our true nature is not in time. That's why I constantly do like this for time, the duality plane, this for what we are, the unity plane, the presence. There's no time here. It's just here now. And so the mind, as it learns to trust this, it will stop fighting, because all it's trying to do is keep itself alive. But as it learns to trust, then it simply relaxes and stays here.
And receives.
It receives. It's actually it's a bi-directional. It's transceiving. It's that it's the master consciousness is. It's like we're little probes into this level of consciousness for some reason. The master consciousness is using our neurology to gather input, and then it goes up, and then it comes back in and moves us in some way according to the will. Right? Imagine you're in an orchestra, and instead of you playing a cello, you are the cello. So that the five senses are taking in the environment, taking in the vibrational and physical environment, feeding it back into the master intelligence, which is doing what it's doing for its will, for its reasoning, and it comes back through the neurology and moves us, and everything's okay. It just feels good, because Don taught us the truth feels good. That was a completely foreign concept to me when he first said it. And I immediately, and I was on MDMA, right? I immediately go, and I could see all the ways my mind just tried to deny feeling good. I was shocked, because it was like, it felt so normal. And it's like the moment snapped me out of it, put me into a different level of the truth feels good. The truth is not a collection of facts. The truth is not something you could debate over your favorite dysfunctional media, social media outlet. That's not the truth. That's just more noise. The truth is a vibration. The truth is a vibration. The truth is, these beings behind are some of the beings that have fully embodied the truth as a vibration through the cellular structure of their nervous system. And that is so infinitely powerful that it radiates into the entire collective, and they become the physical embodiment of the homing beacon, bringing us back to the one. That's what it is. And that's why I sit here a lot, and I'm just with them, because it's not a them. I don't mind it, every time I tell you something, it's like it was while I was on psychedelics, because it's really sometimes this amazing stuff. I was on some mushrooms, and I had this little travel altar in front of me, which is the Yogananda SRF lineage. And it's over there, and I'm inward, and I am just receiving, I'm just getting these downloads of understanding how to work with energy. And I open my eyes, and I see one light coming through 12 eyeballs. And I got it. Form is empty. Form is empty. Form is only carrying the light. But when we forget this, we get hypnotized on the form. And the form is part of the separation program, right? There's a form, here's a form. You're you, I'm me. That's only in the apparent trap. as I call it. Apparent reality, physical reality, what the conspiracy out there calls reality. But it's not. It's the dream state. The reality is the energy that is the only thing there is that's creating this form, this dance, etc. That's the reality, and this is what we are, but we forget. And we forget, then we get fixated on form, and we think the form is the thing that matters, when it's not. It's the energy of it. Which is why when we drop the body, we're still here. Ramana Maharshi, when he was about to drop his body, his disciples were distraught. They said, Bhagwan, don't leave us. And he said, don't be silly. Where could I go? I'm already here. I'm already this. And so, just the one light coming through all of us, through the eyeballs, through the cellular structure, through the layers of the mind, through everything that we call the ego structure, through the noise, through the suffering. It's only light. The more dense a particular part of the consciousness, the less light can come through. And that's what we experience as suffering.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it all makes sense, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
As long as you pop out of the separation program. Because from inside the program, inside the dream, none of this makes sense. It's very interesting. Okay. I'm going to let us go. Feel free to hang out if you want. That was pretty incredible, I have to say. That was pretty incredible. It felt really good. I got this idea, and then I'm like, the mind is going at it. It's like, it's too long. You're going to not like it. And even while I'm sitting in the middle of it, I am just stoned. I am deep in. And the mind's going, when's this going to end? I thought it was these many rounds. They're not going to get that. And I'm watching it like going, oh, yeah, right. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It never shuts up. Which means all you got to do is just notice it, laugh, stay on the mantra. That's all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Much love.